What's up, YouTube? Shocker Boy OB, Slow Motion 53.
That's me.
And this is episode 3 of Hut's Tight.
We're still alive.
So, you might have noticed the goalie mask in the room.
Might have noticed.
We're going to kick this episode off with setting the world record of ripping your goalie mask off and shotgunning a beer.
What is the world record currently? There is no world record for it. That's why this is the world record, no matter what it is.
This is the world record taping.
If it takes him 5 minutes, it's still the world record because nobody else has ever fucking done
It might take me 5 minutes, but we're getting it going.
All right, just let me know when should I start the thing here.
As soon as I say go.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Go.
Did you take a breath in there somewhere?
It's coming out so slow. It's
you got to make a bigger fucking triangle.
It's like still have a can.
Well,
so slow.
The clock's still going. Oh, get this boy a towel.
Time.
Fucking 40 seconds or so.
World record.
Roughly 40 seconds. That's the first time anyone's gotten up from the fucking table.
All right, so if you're feeling froggy, you could try to beat that time, but good luck.
What the fuck?
So,
oh man. Anyways, back to Hut's Tight. We got a full plate of what do you call these things? Pizza bagel bites.
shout out to Bagel Pizza Party Reddit user, first person to show us some love on the Reddit sub. We got bagel bites on deck as tight food this week. Also,
so, shout out to you. What's up?
What else we got?
Anyways, we got a Patriots can, 5-time chance. Let's go.
Five time.
We got a 12-pack League of Heroes, 4 different IPAs, Revolution Brewing from Chicago. We're gonna taste a couple of brews. Get one of each of these out.
These cans are tight as fuck.
Yeah, well, that's all we do here.
The Amarillo
Slim. So yeah, we got a Tropic Hero, Crystal Hero, Amarillo Hero, and the Anti-Hero. So we'll be sipping on some of those while we're talking about the goings-on of Hut the last couple weeks. Let me get this stopwatch off my phone.
So, just when we thought the Crosby, well, it was bigger, but
yeah,
we had Crosby, Ovi. I got my mouth full. Price.
Fucking rude.
Then the next week, just when you thought they weren't going to hit us with McDavid, they hit us with McDavid.
And they released 4.
Just like we said.
Yeah, basically come here for all your fucking predictions.
It's almost like we knew it. But I do feel like they kind of padded it a little bit, you know. The Crosby, Ovi price was a better gamble. Definitely. And this one, I did the set. I don't know if you saw the video, but not the most ideal pull. Actually, it's the least ideal.
Talking about this one?
No.
Pecorine? Oh,
No.
the last one. Carey Price.
Yeah. Well, I pulled Taze.
Oh, yeah.
On that.
That's yeah, I pulled I don't remember what night it was, but I pulled Carey Price Evo and a Crosby Evo in like back-to-back packs. It was from my rewards packs from competitive seasons, yeah.
Which one was this? The Tropical?
This is the Tropic Hero. But yeah, we both did pretty good on the Evos last week. I still got a Taves sitting in my collection.
I don't. I actually sold them and bought face-off Taze. I kept looking back and forth between the stats, and I was like, why would I wait for this card to get as good as this card?
Yeah.
So
plus, if you're playing them at center, face-off Taves can actually win face-offs.
I did buy a lot of packs trying to rip a McDavid because I needed to come up big time. Did not do that or pull. My pack luck was really bad last week. I pulled literally like nothing. So, yeah, but they had McDavid, Bergeron. I did at one point. I sold my Tays and a few other cards and bought a Bergeron. And then I was looking at the price and it kept dropping. And then, of course, I sell him, and 2 days later, he gets a 89 on the team of the week.
That's the rule. As soon as you sell your Evo, they're getting an upgrade the next day.
That was kind of a punch in the stomach, but I think it's okay. I think I do like Bergeron as a center on the squad, but I'm in love with Breakout Masters, so that was like, oh, he's got Breakout Masters, I got to get him. So that was kind of the deal there.
It's pretty hard to get Breakout Masters active. It's
right.
like you got to find the right mix of guys who don't suck.
Right. I basically only like Breakout Masters so much because my favorite card on my team is Hero Rick Nash. He's nasty. He's so good. So good.
I've been trying to keep it active because I have that Chara, that Master Chara. And
right. It's like the one random point, so it's like you might as well.
Plus it helps his acceleration because he's a little slow. Really like having an extra acceleration with Chara, but just can't keep it active.
These are kind of bomb, huh?
Yeah, they're pretty delicious. I think I ate about 6 of them while you were talking. Yeah. It's kind of difficult to keep Breakout Masters active with 5 team synergies going, which is what I'm rolling with now.
So where would you rank these 1 through 4, 1 being the best?
Like long term or right now?
Just everything included, even price.
Well, I mean, obviously McDavid seems like the best card.
Right.
He's got what is it? Is it Silky Smooth too?
Yeah.
And
fine shooting, locker room, and silky.
Pretty good synergies too. He's already got a 92. Is it 92?
Yeah.
He's gonna be 99 in like 2 weeks probably.
Yeah.
So
be racing Kucherov there.
Yeah, him and so the McDavid card seems like a pretty good card, but it's selling for like a lot. You got to be way up there or get lucky and pull one.
Right.
Other than that, I really think that Tarasenko is kind of a sleeper. He dangles in synergy. I don't never have more than like a random point active, but I think Tarasenko people sleep on if he gets a few upgrades, like a 95. Tarasenko might be looking pretty good after a while. It might take a while, but the Blues are pretty good this year.
I don't know why, but the second I activated Dangler Zone on my squad, I like kind of was just doing a little side to side as I gained the zone with St. Louis, and for some reason it just felt like I had Dangler Zone active. Like it was like I could tell. I don't know what it was, but
you were in the Dangler Zone.
Yeah, that was like when I was like, dang.
Or it might have just been dang.
So, but you know, my left side or my left-handed forwards are kind of not deep, but it's like I have all guys I like on that side, so it'd be hard for me to find room for Tarasenko. Yeah, that's how I kind of feel about that.
Yeah, I think other than McDavid, all of them are kind of long-term plays unless you're a fan of them or something.
Or I mean, Bergeron can easily be, especially now with the 89. He's a 92 face-off, so he's up there with Sakic. He's, you know,
depending on your team structure, he could be a good, even like a bottom 2 lines type guy. Because I can't ever score with him. I like having Bergeron on my team, but I can't score against them ever. So.
Well, that's also that Breakout Masters helps with wrist shot too. It's wrist shot and wrist shot and acceleration. So I feel like it makes him an all around better goal scorer a little bit. So moving on to this week's Evos. There was 5. Now you can go back to the last episode and check, but
I think we predicted that.
Yeah. So
I think there's going to be 10 next week for the record. I really do. I think they're going to do 10 on the last week of it.
Like this huge
Black Friday.
Well, I mean, look at all the people. There's still like the mid-tier guys that you feel like they can't include, like almost like Kopitar, Draisaitl, stuff like that. I consider them more like mid-tier.
Right.
But then when you talk about elite, there's still like Kane, Stamkos, kind of Doughty's. He's right on like the cusp of mid-tier and elite when it comes to those expensive.
Really,
yeah, because that's kind of what the tiers come down to is kind of popularity. You know, goalies are never top tier, and that's just because
unless you're getting Pecorine Evos.
Yeah.
Fuck Pecorine.
Yeah, I didn't think we were.
I hope you're watching this, Pecorine. We need shutouts from you.
So starting at the top, Kucherov with the 93. Also on the team of the week this week. He's just tearing it up. But, of course, his synergies are just absolutely fucking stacked. He's got S, TN, and fine shooting, right? I mean, all his stats. Like, anyone that has him on the squad that can afford to keep him on the squad and not sell him, they obviously are maxed out on synergies. If you look at even his 92 star of the month, if you look at that card, all his offensive stats they've got to be like maxed if you got the major synergies active, which anyone that has him does. Like, let's face it.
My God, yeah, and it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. They score.
I mean, pretty soon if you got Kucherov on your team, you're not even going to need any synergies active. That's about all to say about him, and then Carlson,
dude. I think that's a really good one too. With another one where the synergies aren't really even a factor because what the hell's the point of rocket skates with Carlson when he's probably the fastest defenseman in the game?
I would have kind of liked him to have maybe hammer time, make him a little harder on. I mean, it's not really like the style of synergy they would give him, but rocket skates is just kind of like a win more. You know, it's like I'm already 99 and fast as shit. Right. But
it doesn't really affect other people on your team unless you're trying to get rocket skates active. So, but yeah, Carlson and Kucherov were definitely the big two this week, and then Kopitar. I think all of them have good synergies, but there's just a huge difference between spending a whole bunch of money or time getting your Evo sets done and then pulling, there's a big difference between pulling Carlson or Kucherov and pulling Pecorine.
If you didn't notice, we're not even going to save the suspense for you, but we both did the Evo set, even though, knowing there's 5 of them, but 4 out of 5 are okay. I'm okay with that. We both pulled fucking Pecorine. I can't. Yeah. I couldn't even. I just was like...
I think it hurt more watching your video because I didn't know.
Right.
I watched it talking about you stayed up till 9:30 in the morning. I was on party with you where you're grinding all kinds of stuff out, all these challenges. Stayed up for like 12 hours straight grinding and fucking pulled Pecorine. I just happened to have an Evo collectible and a whole bunch of gold collectibles. I turned into a carbon and got 4 Evo collectibles for $60K and still got Pecorine. So
it happens to the best of us.
Put Pecorine deep in my collection. Hopefully I don't see him for a while, and maybe he'll come back out with a team of the year in like 3 years.
So Kopitar though, clutch player, LL and TN, not too exciting. I do have clutch player active on the squad, but
I like Kopitar.
I don't know. He's always just been. He's just like a little too slow, and nothing's. It's like he's a little too slow and a little not too good on face-offs.
Right, not great enough offensively.
Right, he's like a weird player. I mean, I don't know. He just has never really fit on the team well to me.
But if you're a Kings fan, go ahead. Feel free.
Me and another hot player I know. What's that one?
The Amarillo hero.
Nice. Another hut player I know. Shout out to Hefto Bismol on PS4. But another hut player I know. Me and him were talking about Kopitar, and for some reason it came up that he looks like one of those assassins that have like a triggered phrase you say, and he's just like and turns into an assassin.
Okay, I can see that.
It's those eyes, I think.
He's from wherever.
But Dreisaitl or Dreisaitl, as we like to call him.
The Jewish gangster. He's not
even
he's German. I don't think he's Jewish. But Dreisaitl, like a dreidel.
Right.
Whatever. You get
they get it.
You get it.
I love his card, actually. I wish he didn't have it. I wish he wasn't so slow. He's just a little slow. But like I said, anytime I see BM on a card, it just like drags me in.
You need a pillow.
So I want to pick that up. Right now it's hovering around like the 150 mark, and I feel like it could possibly drop a little bit. We'll see. The hype falls later in the week, maybe coming into next week's Evo season, Wednesday time frame. People might be trying to offload him.
If he's playing online with McDavid all year, he's going to get some upgrades, whether he's good or not. He's going to accidentally score some goals.
And Pecorine, an honorable mention. You know,
it's not even an honorable mention. We shouldn't even honorably mention him.
1 to S, 1 to AA, 1 to TN. There's bronze goalies out there that have the same synergies
and almost the same stats.
Yeah, like if you're unless you're looking to play him as your starter, which I mean,
buy some packs.
Goalies don't matter. Yeah, you'll pull one that's a base 86. Goalies don't matter.
You probably get a base 86 in your fucking starter pack.
Pick Nashville. They might just hook you up off bat with one.
Yeah, goalies don't matter. That's another thing. I think we've discussed this on several occasions, our goalie mix-ups. I started out with Van Beesbroek, we went to Hasek forever, Brodeur, had Evo Carey Price. I think that was, and then last time I went...
Last cast, we both had Evo Carey Price.
That didn't last very long.
Right, that's changed.
Once I made the switch to the 5-team synergies, I had to kind of just pick a goalie that had the synergies that fit with what I was trying to do.
See that plug there, the 5-team synergies?
That's the second time I said it, too. It is kind of tight. It's kind of tight having 5-team synergies because it was kind of hard to do. It was a pain in the ass. I had to get rid of some players that I liked. No more Sittler on the team. Just stuff like that. It really was a point of... I got Scott Mellenby. Who? Scott Mellencamp. Scott Cougar Mellencamp.
That's what we call him.
I have been playing defense because it was the only thing that I had. It was the only option I had available because I had to get angry aggressors. Nobody ever says that. It was just AA.
Right.
But I had to get it, so... yeah, 5-team synergies. Super tight. I wish I could do it with a couple different players, but... Maybe that Corey Perry that just came out today.
So just to hit you with something off the schedule.
We have a schedule.
How is that Matt Cullen? Because I know he bought him. He didn't waste his collectibles. Don't waste your collectibles. By the way, I was on the edge of doing it today, and I had to make a phone call. I was like, dude, I'm about to blow my collectibles and get that Matt Cullen to save some coins.
You can get a Matt Cullen for like $80,000. Fuck out of here. That's like... You devalued doing those flashbacks. Just remember this. You paid however much you paid for 4 flashback collectibles for 5 weeks. That's how much Matt Cullen is, basically. And he's selling for $80K. So don't waste your fucking collectibles. If you've been doing them every week, you have like 6 or 7 now or something, right?
Yeah.
So what's the point of doing it now?
Corey Perry might be 8.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because we're short one. And I have 6 right now.
I tried to count them. And I didn't remember how many I fucking had, but I know it's getting up there. I like that Brian Campbell actually too, looking like a decent add to the team, but I'm not spending them on him either.
Well, if you think about it,
Heatley or bust.
One thing I was thinking about is you're either in it for the long haul. The way I feel is if you wait 25, I'm half tempted to wait 5 more and get Brodeur, but then. I feel like I'd be contradicting myself because I'm a firm believer in goalies don't matter.
No, they don't. But his synergies are
that's true.
Insane, game-changing synergies.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got 2 to all 5-team synergies.
Yeah.
That's a game changer. And even if you don't keep him on the team,
you could use him as your backup. Which I don't know why.
My God,
I use him as a backup to my base Carey Price.
But for how I feel, I keep enough. Flashback collectibles around. God damn it. I keep enough flashback collectibles around that I know I'm going to be doing it every week for the foreseeable future. So there's just no point in stopping now. I could see if you barely scrape together enough to get guys every week,
right,
that maybe you'd make a decision at Campbell or Hoodler.
Well, that's the thing is because you could potentially get, like if you decide to go with Hudler, which his card looks really solid also.
That's pretty good.
But if you decide to go with him, you could then start over and grab you a Campbell or a Cullen or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could get 2 of them. So
unless they throw the wrench at us like we've been talking about and do some kind of thing where they release more than one in a week. I just don't think there's going to be, like we said at the start, releasing 30 weeks of flashbacks is going to carry us into like July or something, right. And there's no hockey in July. So I don't know if that's going to work or not, but
I guess we'll see in the future. But going on along the same, we're on flashbacks. Let's touch on the flash forwards here for a minute because I see the speculation online, which at this point, every year it's speculation and every year it happens. So, I mean, is it really speculation? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
the gold upgrades.
Yeah.
So there's players like notably like Nico Hischier, who has like a 79 overall bronze card or something. So if you don't know it, by what is sometime in the middle of the year or something, they will re-release cards that don't have gold cards. They'll release them and have gold cards. So last year, cards got upgraded. So if they had go ahead. Last year, if you had a card, a Team of the Week card of a guy that had a 79 overall bronze card, base card, and you had a 83 overall Team of the Week, and then he got he re-upped with a gold that was an 83, your Team of the Week card would go up that many stats too. So we're thinking this year, if Hischier gets, he gets even like an 83, that flash forward card will go up a couple spots too. So
his bronze is at 80, so I mean that would put his flash forward at 88. I mean, it happened Line A last year. Yeah, I procrastinated. I had one of his milestones, and I was kind of saving it. They were going for like 30K, I remember, specifically, because people knew that...
He had a couple different milestones,
Yeah, he had like a 79 and then like an 81 or something. They were really low, but he had a few.
Yeah, but he was so good at that point that they had to give him a good card. Like an 85 overall card, and all of his shit went up to like 6 points.
Yeah.
So, if you're looking... we didn't go through a whole list of them, but Matthew Barzal, who's killing it for the Islanders right now, has some 79 overall Team of the Weeks. I have like 8 of them on accident, and a couple I bought on purpose. And then that Nico Hischier. I'm sure there's probably some other players out there too. I'm sure if you guys are watching,
Patrick.
Nolan Patrick.
He's got a face-off card too.
Fuck the Flyers.
He's got a face-off card that could go up. Just some other notable cards throughout the week. We had the Hall of Fame milestones.
Shout out to Mark Recchi.
Mark Recchi and Dave Anders suck.
Both former Bruins.
We also had the Crosby milestone with Rocket Skates, which I'm going to touch on for just a minute. Yeah, I picked him up. I actually was watching. I was doing my job at work, listening to Don't Be Sad stream, and he just cracked. He just cracked some pack, I forget, and then he was going through the market, was like, dang, this is Crosby. And I was like, I'm going to get home and check that Crosby out. And that's what I did. And unfortunately, it was going for a little more on Xbox than it was on PS4, but I picked it up. And
how much?
I bought it for $220, but on PS4 it was going for $190.
That's a 91 overall?
Yeah, 91.
This is first upgrade?
Yeah, but with Rocket Skates, he's pretty, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like anymore, the elite players, when they get a card that's stacked with team synergies, like, everyone has it active already.
Right.
You know, so it's just a little redundant. So it's nice to get a little synergy like that actually will do something above and beyond the team synergies.
Especially when it's speed, even though I don't think speed matters as much this year, but those high-end guys, when they're fast and they can do all the extra stuff they do, does matter.
Right. I remember specifically, me and him been going, like, my record against him is like 17, or sorry.
It's like 23, 1-1.
Well, that's...
You beat me once the other night.
That's your record against me. Remember?
Right.
Yeah. He has 23 wins.
He's beat me 3 times now.
Yes, yeah. So...
all within the last week.
So we played a 2 out of 3 the other night, and first game he beat me by a couple. Second game, I was losing 2-0, tied it in the third at 2, and then with Crosby in overtime, I won. And then game 3, I was beating him 2-1. It was just one of those games where his team looked like it was getting ice tilted by mine, which probably what my team is not quite an ice tilt team, but it was.
It's the only time I lose when I get ice tilt.
It was ice tilt. I stand firm that ice tilt doesn't exist.
Something exists.
Not everyone agrees. So, but yeah, there was one game where I had Crosby. I was kind of gliding in at the blue line, and as soon as I crossed, he made a move towards me, and I just and went.
I don't remember that.
And that was. I only remember it because I was like reviewing that Crosby because I just bought him.
That shit didn't happen.
But moving on, the other new cards, we had Vucic. We touched on this last week.
Vucic, Ricky Ricardo.
last year that was like his go-to hero. He
loved Busick last year.
Off.
First line, right wing, forever. Johnny Busick.
He's one of those guys to me that remember last week's discussion. I just can't put him on my fucking team.
Hate.
He's just
for any reason.
He's just so old looking, and it just to me it just doesn't fit.
Chief.
I like all my guys that have helmets on and shit.
Oh, fuck that. I like Bobby Hull last year. Bobby Hull playing defense last year.
I did like Bobby Hull. He had the
Bobby Hull on
bangs.
defense. And never mind. I won't say Bobby Hull's not a good person. Let's just say that. Not say what I was about to say.
And then dropped just tonight the Corey Perry. That was kind of cool. I think that's more of what the community wants to see in flashbacks.
Right. Cards that I don't want to see. Like everybody thought it was gonna be Madano. We already got a good Madano card. Right. I don't want to see cards of people who are already in the game with good cards. So anybody who has a lower rank card or isn't in the game already or whatever.
Like people that are just past their prime a little bit and their overalls falling down a couple notches year to year.
Or like Corey Perry, who's been really good, but his base card isn't good this year. Right. He's really slow. It's a pretty good upgrade on Corey Perry.
That's a +6 for Corey. I'm not sure if the stats line up. They probably
changed some of them.
Yeah, they probably don't line up perfectly to a +6.
But with his synergies, he's adequately skating. Like he's not. I wouldn't say he's fast, but
right. I mean, he's got Corey Perry speed with rocket skates, so that's a definite bump. And then 2 team synergies to go along with it.
Yeah, and he's a shooter. Shoot.
Right.
What's his discipline? I didn't get to look at that.
I didn't check that out.
His discipline's probably still 50. So you're going to have to deal with the Corey Perry slashing people in the face type shit. Normal Corey Perry shit.
Right. But I am glad that they mixed that up. I saw the first thread I saw on Reddit was talking about, I guess now you don't even need a specific date for a flashback.
There's like Corey Perry. Go fuck yourself.
But I mean, people like that, I feel like people want to eventually see a Hossa. Maybe a Joe Thornton, his overalls falling down. Even like a Marlowe, his overalls ticking down there.
Flashback to 1970 when Joe Thornton was good.
The Zetterberg was cool because he's an 85 in years past. Yeah, like Messier. I mean, come on.
The Curry,
even Busick. The Curry. It was the same thing as like the Messier and stuff, but for some reason I kind of liked it. Because they were 2 very different cards.
Right.
Like, the flashback Curry, you cannot play at center.
Right.
His face-off rating was actually like 7. Like, it was really low. I was like, whoa.
Right. And they're different cards. It's still, Messier, who's not even like a popular... His better card isn't even that popular. So, I just don't think it's really that good. But, like, the Gabrick was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think they need to keep that up for sure.
That's more... Like last year, I remember... Late in the year, they hit us with that Patrick Sharp. A couple weeks after that, there was the Sedines, because God knows they need a flashback to be playable.
To win.
But, yeah, so, and then we had, like, some other cards out there that might be fan favorites, like, we had the Letang milestone. Bobrovsky and Holtby both hit 90s overall in their respective
prescription.
Yeah, in their informs that they hit. I think one was a player of the game or prime time, and
one the same shit.
Yeah,
one synergy, 90 overall goalies.
We have like an Eric Stahl hit at 87. A lot of people like him. We had one of my favorites, the bottom 6 sniper, the Nathan McKinnon dropped tonight with the 87, 94 speed.
What'd you say the other night? It's like. He said, like, chill, McKinnon. Like, he must have been really excited that Duchesne left. And he's been actually doing really good since Duchesne left.
Yeah, he's been tearing it up since then.
Must have forgot that he was supposed to be the next Crosby. Right. He's from the same place as Crosby. What else? Oh, that Letang.
Yeah, we have a little story about the Letang. It's kind of nice.
So I was looking for, check out the other podcast that we did, the little quick one with Ross the Boss 5000. I was looking for a couple cards. I was going to throw him a few decent cards that were cheaper, and we were looking around for some cards that were fitting his synergies. Thread the needle. He needed some defensemen. We were looking at this Letang. He was looking at the Letang,
right?
And he said, "Oh shit, there's one up here for $20,000." And I was like, "What is that cheap?" He's like, "Yeah, it's really cheap." So I go on there. We're both on the party. I go in there and look at it. And there was one for it was all the way at the end for 3 days, $20,000 for that Letang. What were the other ones going for?
There was only one other one on the market. It was literally that the one we saw it said 23 hours 59 minutes too. Like someone just posted that
for $20K.
Yeah, and the only other one was up for 80,000 by now, and like 70 some bid.
I mean the amount's probably in the middle somewhere, but I think he's probably going to go for more than 20,000.
I mean, an 88 overall, Letang is popular, but still, that's a
2 upgrade.
40 like this week, and maybe next week like 33. You know what I'm saying? But like
20 just seems like a super undercut.
Still, yeah. I mean, so undercut him by 60K.
Right.
I need to sell this.
Maybe
sold.
Maybe he meant to put it in the bid, but what happened was he said 20K, and then he was like, "Oh, it's still up there. It's still up there." And then I was like, "Oh, let me go look at it." And I was like, "It's not up there anymore." And I think he didn't realize it until like 2 minutes later when I told him that I actually bought it. So I'm the one that grabbed it. But so yeah, Ross the Boss, 5,000, ended up getting an 88 overall. Thread the needle Letang to replace his. We had a base Letang on there originally, didn't he?
Yeah.
So nice little upgrade to the Letang card before he gets hurt for the year pretty soon.
Yeah, let's hope not.
God.
It was actually like a perfect little upgrade because with the other cards that slow motion threw his way, he had like 13 and Silky Smooth.
Don't ban me.
He had like 13 to Silky Smooth, so he really needed to eliminate some of that to get some more needle threading going on. One thing I want to touch on.
He literally touched it.
Yeah, I did. Just because I just want to. It's kind of like a discussion topic. I want to throw it out there. It's one of those like just think about it, because we're like an anti-negativity when it comes to Hut. We realize it's kind of like a pay-to-play. It's a money grab, but it's fun. It's a hobby, and
People
we
do
love
nothing
it.
but complain.
Right.
They think if they lose, it's because somebody paid for a
Ice Tilt
team.
yeah,
right. Whatever. You get mad at the game, but you still I love playing the game. I'm not going to quit playing it because of one of these things.
But what it comes down to, the story I want to touch on is the Stars of the Month cards dropped. The number one thing, first of all, this is a new inform this year, added to the game. Above all other informs.
That's the first time I've heard anyone actually say that in a positive manner.
It's a new inform, so something that did not have to be on the game. And the first thing anyone can say about them is, "Oh my God, these Stars of the Month cards only have one synergy." Okay, so rewind to last year. Some of the problem last year was, everybody's got stacked teams of heroes. Everyone's just all heroes.
Yeah.
Too many synergies. So what do? Hit your ass with a Series 2. And
that's what made me quit the game, basically.
Reddit just blew up, bitching, Series 2 sucks. They just want to restart, blah, blah, blah.
You can't have it both ways.
You can't have... If we're stacking synergies again, you're going to have Series 2 again. That's what happened. The game needed a hard reset last year, and they hit us with Series 2. And this year, they're patiently, they're rationing out the synergies. They're not giving you Team of the Weeks with +2 to thread the needle.
Because it went up through the year, right? They started out the Team of the Weeks with 2 synergies, and then by All-Star break, it was 4 synergies, and then it was the Team of the Year cards with 6 synergies and shit or whatever.
Right. So, I'm just saying you can't have it both ways. So just kind of... the synergies are easier to get this year too. Anyway, so I feel like
there's some by now.
I know they're 10 points, but they feed you. Last year they didn't start throwing 2 team wheel guys out until late in the year. They threw all those random guys with 2 team wheel.
Yeah, other than Linden and stuff. But
they
also, that's another thing too, is that last year, how much was a base Ovechkin or a base Crosby? Those guys were fucking expensive as shit. And this year, they're all obtainable. I bought a Malkin for Ross the Boss, 5,000. It was 30,000. So I think there's a big difference in talking about having Team of the Weeks with too many synergies. Like I said, you can't have it both ways. I think it's annoying. People just find a way to pick this game no matter what. We're here to just love this game and play it no matter what happens. You're not going to change it with your bitching on Reddit or Discord. But
so what do you think about the Movember competitive season? How many packs are out there? They're pretty deep in packs. Have you noticed?
Yeah, they are. I like it. I didn't have such a good finish in the last week's one, but I kind of like that it's a longer one. And they are. It's I think I got I finished the last one. I finished like 1500th or something, and I got like 3 of the bottom pack. What is it? There's like the extremely hairy pack, the mildly hairy pack, and the regular hairy pack. I got like 3 of the regular hairy packs last time. I didn't pull shit.
That's pretty solid,
but they are pretty good. So there's a lot of people talking down about competitive seasons too. It's not worth it. The matchups suck. I even said something. I even talked a little bit of shit about it last night about some dude's team. Because his team name was just one of those teams. When you see somebody's team name, you just
you're not going to shout him out.
Fucking his team name was like the Hitters or something, and I was like, I'm going to get 1 point for beating this guy. He ended up beating me, of course, and I lost 276 points and dropped like 3,000 spots in fucking.
I told him it was karma.
Yeah,
as soon as he saw his name, he was like, "Well, I'll get 1 point when I beat this kid's ass."
Karma's not real, but Evos are.
Oh shit. Yeah, Ross the Boss actually went 1-1 in competitive seasons and got 2 packs, and I went and I was standing like literally like 2-8. I don't know what was going on. I couldn't win a game.
Ice tilt.
It
Inverse ice tilt.
I could not win. Everyone was beating me. I was blowing leads. Everything I could do was happening.
But play your fucking competitive seasons games. Even if you're just playing 2 games, get ranked in there somewhere. It's worth playing. To me, I made Division 1 recently, but I haven't played 1 game in Division 1. I play basically only competitive season games at this point. There's just so much. I guess if I win a Division 1 title, that's a good reward, but I don't think I'm going to do that. You got to win like 9 games or 8 games or whatever to get that. So,
yeah, I'm 1 win. I just won the last game I won put me to where I could hold in Division 3. So I think I'm 3 points away, and I have 3 games of advancing Division 2, and that's been like 2 weeks now. I haven't played a division game in a while.
I love competitive seasons. I love that it's better. I love that they give the rewards out like that. I love everything about it.
I'm really glad they threw it out there. It almost was like they were giving it a trial there at the end of last year. They threw it out there late, and I think it's cool that they started off right away with it this year because it's nice.
I actually, people complain about the matchups on it and not getting points for it, but then they also, a lot of people will scrub hunt too. So, you want to complain about getting bad matchups and playing people who suck. But then you're also getting to play against somebody who sucks and score 10 goals. But then you're also
backing out.
A lot of times too is like those are the games you'll lose. You'll lose a game against somebody who's worse than you. So I don't know. I just like the variety of playing those. You don't know who you're going to play. You can play a top player. You can play somebody who's playing the game for the first time.
So did you want to touch on your puzzle piece of a 5-team synergy?
The 5-team synergies. I don't know why, but it came to me one night when I had about 1.2 million coins from selling that Evo Crosby and some other stuff. I just said I should try and get all 5-team synergies. Why would I not? So I just started the grind of doing it and ended up getting it basically in one night.
No big deal.
Guys I ended up I kept my top 2 lines together, which was important for me about not getting rid of a lot of players. But I kept I got Bossy back. Bossy, Sakic, Medano on the second line, and then Lanny Medano and Brendan Moore and Heatley. I've changed the lines up a little bit, but those 6 guys stayed on the team. The bottom 6 changed up a lot. I ended up putting Busick in there. I got Ronick, Kirk Muller. I got that Matt Cullen. Ended up keeping Chara and Pronger and got Niedermeyer on the D pairs and stuff. So I didn't change up a whole lot of it, but I did change my goalies. I have Curtis Joseph now, which... Right. I try to just look at the goalie as just a dude that's standing there not saving pucks.
It's really the synergies matter. The goalie doesn't matter.
Right.
Because, if you're allowing your opponent into those high-scoring opportunities, they're going to score goals on you. So really, you need to D up.
And people expect their goalies to be perfect, too. I know it pisses you off when they let them score a shitty goal, but that shit happens, too. Sometimes those plays on the rush when it's like a 1-on-4... the dude comes in with his one guy and you got it perfectly defended, and somehow he gets a shot off and it hits your goalie's knee, ribs, shoulder, chest over him, and then he fucking does that dive thing and knocks it in the net. That shit happens to everybody.
What'd you say to me last night? You were like, dude, this dude's shot just hit my goalie in the heart.
Oh, I swear to God, it was like, you know when your goalie does that thing where he goes like this and you can't pass it out? I swear to God, he did that, and the puck just like, it was like a David Blaine. The puck just appeared off of his shoulder and started flying. Like, he was like, and somehow the puck went through him, but that shit happens to every goalie. So I just learned to say, I'm going to defend this as good as I can. And if my goalie sucks, then he sucks that game. You're not, even really good goalies have bad games and bad weeks and months and seasons. So there's not much you can do about it always.
So I noticed you said Pronger, Chara, and Niedermeyer. So are you currently doing what we talked about last week? Do you have two D pair or a D pairing that has two left or two rights on it?
Yeah, I've been doing something a little different. I've been changing my forward and D lines up. I feel like sometimes I get a little too stale in my play, and I'll change. I'll just move one forward up a few lines and move it around a little bit. But I do still have two right-handed defensemen playing the left side. But right now I have Chara and Niedermeyer as my first pair, both lefties, and then Mellenby and Bork on a pair, and Pronger and who's the other one I got there? I always forget who the fuck. Oh, Rob Blake. Balake. Yeah. Just for synergies, that's the way it had to be. I don't have a lot of room for moving people around right now.
He's not the 17 Rob Blake that he was. I didn't even like him last year.
Rob Blake last year was the number one D pair guy, no matter what. He was like the Trevor Linden of D pairs.
It was Blake and the dude for the Sharks, Doug Gilmore.
Doug Wilson. Doug Wilson. Man, that was so good last year.
Yeah, that was everyone's top D pair.
Blake, yeah.
I did like Doug. I used McInnes and Wilson.
Didn't Doug Wilson have a helmet, you motherfucker?
No, he wore a helmet. He did. Wait. I don't remember.
Can we get a fact check?
I know he didn't wear it in that milestone card when everyone says he was showing his vinegar strokes.
Oh, God.
Just to touch on my team real quick, I'm the complete opposite of him. I have just thread the needle and silky smooth intentionally.
I'm good.
I only activate those two team synergies, and then I like to spread out. I have breakout masters active, clutch player active, passing playmaker active, dangler zone active.
I still have 3 player synergies too, but
right.
it's not a.
But I kind of puzzle piece it a different way, and I just make sure I have thread the needle and silky smooth. I think they're really the ones that matter. I don't like to overdo it, but because I find myself sometimes it's like too much of a puzzle piece when you have multiple. Like you get high in the 3, 4, 5 range, and then if you end up not liking a player,
you can't move them.
Yeah, it's like you have to not like 5 players to fix that,
or just to convince yourself that you don't like 5 players.
So it's kind of just my it's my flavor. I'm sure some people out there don't even activate synergies because they don't even know.
Some people might be watching this thinking, "What the fuck is a synergy?" Or like, what are they even talking about?
Right.
What even is HUT and is it tight? Well, if you're 43 minutes into this and you still don't know what the fuck we're talking about, buy NHL 18. Damn, dude, crushing beers.
Just crushing them.
I don't think we got anything else to go over. Can we talk about next week? I really do think they're gonna bust out a big Evo set Thursday. It's Thanksgiving.
How many?
It's Thanksgiving.
How many payoff cards and how many? Is it Canadian Thanksgiving though? Because
I don't think Canadian Thanksgiving.
Wait,
is December.
It already happened, didn't it?
When is?
Didn't it already happen? It was like on Monday.
I thought Canadian Thanksgiving was when the World Junior Championship started in December.
I swear. Dude, I swear.
Oh yeah, that's what they.
I swear it happened.
When they didn't drop the milestone cards.
There was 2 days they didn't drop the milestones, and it was just this past Monday.
Yeah, it was Monday.
And then.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking. I really do think they're going to drop a big Evo set on us. It's going to be Thanksgiving next Thursday. They're in Vancouver, Canada. They don't give a shit about American people, and they just want our money. They're going to drop it Thursday night, day before Black Friday. They're going to bust out like extra fucking packs and shit on us. And they're going to be like 10 Evos. And they're going to be probably about 5 and 5.
Who would?
We're gonna do some Canes and some Stamkos.
They're definitely gonna have Kane and Stamkos.
But like you said, we talked about this before. They still have weeks and weeks and weeks throughout the year to release Evos. So I mean, who knows? They could just drop random who the fuck ever's as Evos, but I don't know. I think they're gonna drop a big one. I don't think it's just gonna be went from 3, went from 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna.
I mean,
be
I
more
could
than
definitely
5.
see 6, but
I think it's gonna
10,
be more than.
I don't know. 10 kind of just.
What do you think the fucking market would go?
10 just kind of makes that set like no one's gonna do the set. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but people.
But the collectibles will still be way up too.
Because they're gonna have some big.
When's
guys.
the last time you pulled an Evo collectible? I swear.
The one I had was from Poland. I don't remember pulling it, but I had one.
Yeah, I swear they
You
just
don't
did
pull
away
them.
with that.
Yeah,
They don't have
you
them
barely
anymore.
ever pull them. You're gonna spend about $300 to get a fucking Evo collectible if you're lucky. But yeah, I think that's gonna happen. The flashback on Friday. It's gonna be a Black Friday flashback next week. Maybe it'll be somebody good next week too. What the milestone set on Monday is gonna have Crosby
and the 2 Hall of Famers in it. So hopefully you've been saving some milestone packs up.
I had to.
I had mine, but I
had to break it open.
I cracked it. I was like, I could pull that Ovi,
Yeah.
but
I gotta. I feel like you get milestone.
I opened 2,500 coins. That's all I remember.
Yeah, that's who. Fucking like that John Carlson I pulled in that team league. Fucking bullshit. But yeah, so we're obviously going to take next week off. We've been doing it every 2 weeks anyways. So it'll be after Thanksgiving. We'll probably be up to here to wrap up November.
Maybe see what the new set is coming up. Hopefully it's something tight.
Right.
I'm just kidding. Everything's tight in Hut. But I think that's pretty much all we got. So this has been episode 3. New beers. Check them out. Pizza bites were good, obviously.
I need more.
Yeah, that was the family size. It didn't last long.
I mean, we got. There's more
long.
of us in this motherfucker. Yeah. They didn't eat any of them.
So yeah, that's it. This has been Shaka Boy OB.
Slow Motion 53.
Hut's Tight, episode 3. Till next time.
Don't fucking.